Hello, welcome to this video. We're in 1.17.1 and you may notice that we are at minus 32. That's because we're playing with this mod called Wythers Overhauled Overworld. So I installed a couple of things. There are some structures, but all I've got at the moment is just the overworld and the underground cave biomes. And it basically lets you play with some kind of 118 world gen. But obviously it's a custom sort of thing. These caves are not what you'll get in actual 118. But a lot of it is kind of present and correct, I guess. It's difficult to cover this mod in any sort of accurate way. And it certainly looks different from some of the snapshots I've seen of 118. But certainly the caves are pretty large. Performance is pretty poor, as you can tell. That's why I'm not using any shaders. I could obviously try and use shaders here, but biome mods always have pretty poor performance, especially new ones. So it's not even, if you're using a biome mod, I would suggest you don't use any shaders of any kind. Really, shaders are for different sorts of things. But how Overworld has changed, and that is a pretty cool thing. The main feature is, of course, the overworld, but I did just want to have a little look at the caves add-on. Might go back down there at some point as well. So we'll just have a little look around. Hopefully we'll get reasonable performance while we have a little fly about. So this is a pretty cool feature. This is another way, I guess, to do biome blending. It's a little bit like higgledy-piggledy, I guess, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't think Minecraft developers. Well, might got a bit close there. I don't think Minecraft developers want to go for this sort of style. I wouldn't say it looks bad though in terms of biome blending. I think there was a definite thing to have wider rivers as well. I noticed in one of the 118 snapshots they're working on. There's things in like plains areas where you'll have something that looks like like a dry river, and that's because it is a dry river, I believe. It like decides whether to put a river there or not. This is definitely a common theme, right? To have these larger rivers. The Mesa blend is not. They don't do that. I'm not quite sure what the rules are between blending in this particular mod. Oops. But yeah, pretty cool stuff though. I mean, when you look at biome mods, it's almost like there's so many different iterations. It's like, I mean, I could even just not be playing with one like that though. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's a thing between. Interesting, very interesting that. Let's maybe check out some different locales. Is there anything that no? Let's go for. There's something interesting in a flower forest. Flower forest is always an interesting biome, mate. What's over here? This is some interesting gen, isn't it? Yeah, I noticed this actually at 118 snapshots. Because the biome blend is so like high, it still counts as an ocean. Is there any spot where it actually says it's not an ocean? Don't think so, right? This is just something we should have to get used to in 118, I guess. Obviously, we're not in 180, but I think what's going on, it looks like. That's interesting. I kind of like that island formation. Yeah, pretty cool gen actually. Pretty cool, I'd say. What does this count as? Is this like a shore? And it's all counting as a lukewarm ocean. Yeah, all lukewarm ocean. There must be some sort of land mass approaching though. Here we go. We're going to get changed now. 100%. What on earth? What on earth? Wow. So it's taking it to extremes in terms of. Is this like what underwater looks like? How on earth is that? Are we still in an ocean biome here? That is wild. I do like the world gen there. Um, there's definitely like problems with how it's labelled, but you know that's just something which you're kind of used to when you play Minecraft. Everything's just labelled incorrectly. I do find it astonishing that they're literally. I'm just curious when the supposed ocean actually ends, because of course it's like you don't have something like for some reason I thought of Galapagos Islands. You don't have something like that in Minecraft, do you? Where there's like a set of islands in the middle of the ocean. And I guess that's what this is going for. It must be, right? I mean, what else could it be? These are like not. These are fairly substantial islands, but the whole thing is ocean. Um, which I guess makes sense. You would say these islands are in the ocean, right? Wouldn't you? That is interesting. We've got also a change here in the. I think it's a change in the sky color. Well, it definitely is. This is interfering. Let me just. It might also be a weather thing. Don't want pesky weather ruining everything. What do we have here? Some sort of. It looks like a roofed forest, right? Dark forest now, of course. I always get those two confused. Yeah. I think the concern with Dark Forest was that it was too flat, and this must be a swamp. This is Swamp Hills. Very rare biome normally. You know what? I'm going to stick with the night vision. Do like night vision almost at all times. I really think it makes, especially depending on like the brightness of your monitor, it will make things pop out more. And I don't think it can never be too bright, right? Look at this though. This is pretty awesome. We can take a little look under the ground as well, just to see. Look at that. Some really cool underwater. Swamp always has cool underwater. That's why it's a good idea to do in a swamp. I like that. Look at this. Lots of cool stuff in this mod, isn't there? Honestly, like the first time I played this, I tried playing this like a week ago. And I tried playing with a bunch of shaders, and I just sort of gave up because I was like super not unhappy with the performance. But actually, if you don't play with shaders, performance is decent. And also, it's always at the beginning. One thing I haven't tried, by the way, just to try and give you like the full picture about the shader situation, I didn't try with the stuff that people suggest. I just tried it with Optifine and Astralex shaders. A lot of people will, if you're like a fabric, person, you'll know that you're not really supposed to do that. You're supposed to try and play with Iris or Sodium or Canvas Renderer, or there's all these different websites of Indium, and I can't even. It's a complex thing, right? Why is there mycelium down here? Interesting. Very interesting world, Jen, isn't it? Yeah, it is awesome, actually. Actually, like, weirdly, like, you know what it is? Like, in the normal game, it's like, it's more traverse. If you're flying within a elytra, this is actually not going to be that easy to get through. But if you're just walking around, this is actually much more traversable than what is actually in Minecraft at the moment, because it's huge, expansive swathes. There is a problem in Minecraft, is that if you haven't got an elytra, some of these caves are not that easy to go through. But yeah, we're going to keep on going around. Let's try a different biome, and I'll just do what I've been doing, which is just occasionally dip underground to look at the cave areas, which we go for next. Should we try jungle? We're not going to be at this Y level though. Let's go nice and high. Because I don't really know, like, I mean, we're probably far too high, but. And we're in spectator mode. They're actually not too high. So that gives you some sort of idea about the scale. We actually came in at 200. What's this? What on earth? You know what's funny as well? What is this block? Oh, it's just okay. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Is that a thing that a tree higher up will have a thinner? Maybe that is a thing. Maybe that actually is a thing. I can't. I've never. That is odd that they don't all have it though for some reason. It's emerald, and I always forget the names of some of these things. Hanging roots makes sense. Crazy world, Jan. And what's this counting? This must be counted as hills, right? No, we're still in forest somehow. Modified jungle. Yeah, they've really messed around with it a lot from the looks of it. That is cool though. The one thing I noticed in watching, yeah, it is expensive, and that's just regular stone, is it? It's tough. Very stratospheric. Don't know why. I don't know why it'd be up there though. If it's deep slate, doesn't that mean it's down? Then we go into regular forest. I need to sometimes forget to do stuff like that. Does look cool though. You always have to look at like it as like a vista. Like you have to imagine, what if you had your house? I mean, they're quite imposing, right? I would increase the render distance, but I don't really want to. Performance is It's working at least. It's working. I'm not going to complain too much. I do like the use of rivers though. These are pretty nice rivers for sure. There is a lot of. I feel you don't see this as much anymore. These weird lighting errors. We've got dolphins in here for some reason. Do dolphins live in rivers? And tropical fish. And pufferfish. Kind of interesting though. You don't really get like a. I always found bamboo jungle to be super like. The reason no one goes to a bamboo jungle is because it's super difficult to traverse through it. Actually, got some blossoms here as well. Spore blossoms. Correct. Always like to check, just in case I get the name wrong. This is something that you should do, I would suggest. Always just check the name of everything. You know, if you just think of something, is it enchantment or is it enchanting? It says enchanting now. I need to look at that because I'm convinced it's enchanting. Enchantment. Got some dripstone as well, just as part of the area here. Should we try a little bit of cold areas? We'll in a second, actually. We'll in a second. What on earth is this? You never see vines on birch, do you? That's why it's so unusual. There's one tall birch tree. I've got to see though, right? Is that actually a thing? This is always something that's basically you can't type R because it goes to the menu screen. And that's not very interesting. Doesn't. Oh wait. Oh, you know what it does? It's adding a 2x2, isn't it? Of course. Sorry. Or am I just confused about that? I might just be confused. How do these trees grow then? What earth? Yeah, it looks like super custom. Unless there's some special rule, you have to put the sapling underground. You never see that, do you? Like people put a sapling underground because that is, you would imagine. I mean, that's how it actually grows. You don't put like a sapling on top of a. Actually, do you? I don't know. You know what? I really should know that, but I really don't know. Like, is it just like grow from like a? It's probably a variety of stuff. Some of them probably grow underground first and then sprout. Obviously, it grows in both, you know, in both ways. What is that? What is that? Oh, it's a tree. It's a tree, bro. Great. It's just some wild gen. That desert. Really? What is the placement rules for bamboo? Is it dirt? Is it, I guess it's dirt and sand. Is it always that? I mean, I guess it makes sense. For some reason, I just you never see it being placed on sand. But I guess it's no problem. Let's check out some colder biomes as well. Should we get snowy tundra? That's probably the best in terms of cold. I don't know if this does. While we're here, we'll just have a little peek underground. Again, we've got some interesting, unique stuff. Definitely seems there is some biome-specific stuff here. Bunch of mushroom stuff. I'm glad we're actually. It's probably just luck, but I'm glad we're literally running into like. Whoa. Like unique stuff each time. This is wild. Look at that. Again, it doesn't really tell you anything of any like. I'm trying to find like some sort of information on the screen that is telling me that something unusual is going on, but it's not really there. You just have to look through. You just have to. Pretty awesome though. Pretty awesome gen for sure. Especially this cave. Really quite expensive. I'm curious, like what actually happens in the snowy tundra. Normally, people just ignore these sorts of biomes, right? We're going to go to the same wild level. We'll go up. We'll go the other way around this time. Down a bit. Yeah. There's one serious waterfall. All right. Yeah, you can normally see this is like the default because nobody really goes to snowy biomes to do like anything. Um, do you know what I mean? You don't really see like people building in snowy biomes. It just doesn't happen, right? So that's a good way to see the default, and it is less, it is more, yeah. It's definitely biome specific because that is definitely more like underwhelming in terms of what we've got there. Yeah. I think it's just difficult with snowy biomes because there's not really much you can do with them. You know. Really? What's going on here then? Let's have a little look. Oh, that is a grass block, is it? Okay, doesn't look like it. We also have some Nidium and some Crimson Roots and random cats, which are nowhere near anything. All right. Yeah, pretty. That's pretty straightforward, I guess. Now, I guess we're going into a taiga here, are we? If you would let me click F3, please, which you can't see because of that. Giant tree taiga. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yep. So we got around here. Plains is always worth a look at. Clusters of stuff, clearings. Yeah, I think like if you had like a, like a different group of words, density of like density is very important. I think. What we got in here? This is a birch forest, is it? Well, you wouldn't have known it because these are not birch trees, but they've got some birch trees. I don't think but yeah. What is this over here? What on earth is going on there? Weird. Even though I haven't got the structures mod in, it does seem like there are some structures. What is this camp? This is like a pumpkin patch from. Man, I played too many biome mods. There is a mod. There is a one called Pumpkin Patch. It just reminded me of that for some reason. Patch, of course, a very important word in AI. But yeah, obviously we're in a sunflower area here. Let's do one final look. Oh yeah, we'll do one final look down here, and then we're going to. I'd love to check a mesa as well, a Badlands rather. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Anything exciting down? A lot of mine shafts. Nothing really. I would say builds on what we've seen previously. Just a regular spawner. Let's see. It looks that way. And we're going to go to a Badlands next. We'll just quickly see what's at this Y level before moving upwards. Yep, nothing really different from what we saw. I think we've probably seen most of the biomes. I think there were only like 6 or 7 or something. Having all those mushrooms underground is cool though. It's doing the same thing. Oh no, we do actually have a. Yeah, I was looking at this particular the border between biomes in 118. Very difficult, especially when you have like this clay on the edge. I prefer the way it's done here because the different coloured clay is not on the edge, so it actually doesn't look too bad in terms of transition. But yeah, this is always going to be wild. Basically, the Badlands biome, just because it's got the most different kinds of blocks in it. Yeah, that does look. You need to do something like only you can't have this because this makes no sense to be like that. All those blocks should be the same colours as the one. You should be able to recognise it as like on the outside. Because if it was exposed to the air, it would be the same colour. But yeah, But yeah, I just thought I'd have a little look at this, another biome mod. I do like to look at the biome mods, they are pretty fun. But until next time, thanks for watching.